And welcome back for another Buy, Hold, Sell podcast. I'm joined by Cord and Mick. How are we, boys?
Couldn't be better.
Good, good. I've been on a buy, hold, sell podcast for quite a while, so I'm keen for it.
Yeah.
Let's get done.
Get through the cobwebs.
Just
mate.
a lot of
Could be a bit
content and
dusty.
stats.
Well, it's a big one, boys. I mean, there's a lot of buys this week. I have a feel. I mean, round 19's coming along, and Ponga's back, Turbo's back, which we'll get to, I'm sure. But I'm looking forward to it.
I think we're going to be pretty ruthless.
Yeah,
podcast.
absolutely.
I got a feeling.
Absolutely.
Oh, mate. Definitely going to be.
Example number one, AFB. He's been a disaster the last 2 weeks, and I'm almost about to sell him.
Here's another one. Alex 12. Listen,
Yeah, what's
brother,
going on
I don't
there?
know what's happening
What's
with
going
you,
on there,
but
Russ?
I need you to play. So, yeah.
That head knock must have been pretty bad at training, I'm telling you now. Anyway, Dor, sorry.
No,
Carry on.
you're all right, boys. Well, buy, hold, sell. We might as well start with the buys, boys. And a man that you're very high on, Cord, and that we got into our side last week, the Carty Party. Look, he's priced at 606K. Obviously, the Eels play next weekend against the Titans. A break even of 53 points on the weekend. What are we thinking, boys?
Yeah, he's got a lot of upside, Cardi. He got 53, but I don't think he was too involved. Once he gets a few offloads and attacking stats, wow.
Yeah, I think that's the most irritating thing about not being a Cartwright owner and versing him is the fact that he does offload the ball pretty much every run, or he tries to.
And almost like irrelevant offloads where
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
didn't actually help the team, but it helped me.
And the most stupid thing about NRL fantasy, and I sort of hope they change it, is that the fact is that a try assist is almost worth the exact same as an offload. So I think
I agree
offload's a
with that.
really boosted stat. And if you can get someone in there like Cartwright who offloads the ball maybe 4 or 5 times a game, I think it's really worth the value what is in there.
Try assist should be like at least 7.
Yeah,
points.
absolutely. Yeah.
Well, then you'd probably
You
have
to boost the tries then as well.
You'd have to inflate
Yeah, I
the
agree.
points. Yeah. NRL Fantasy, if you're watching, we might need an update to the point system.
Yeah, we might need a review.
Yeah, a review.
Get
We'll
that
send
fella
it
on that
upstairs, yeah.
podcast that does it on the
When might
NRL
they get
thing.
paid? Like the people who like automate the scoring.
We need to send
Yeah.
the
How does
point
that work?
system
Something to ponder.
Yeah,
up to the bunker.
yeah.
Anyway, back to the buy.
Yeah, yeah. No problems at all, boys. So look,
Get some names. there, jeez.
let's just get through it. So Cardi Party, yes, no, we buy.
Yeah, buy.
Buy, easy one.
Yep,
Yep.
nice. All right, we move on to the next one, boys. Mitchie Barnett, 724K. He absolutely teed off. He was our main buy last week. 75 points, break even of 27 this week. Obviously, the Wars don't play the round 19 buy. What are our thoughts?
Dor, may I just add that our buy, hold, sells in recent weeks have been nothing short of fantastic. And if you followed our advice pretty much the last month and a bit,
You're cooking.
You're cooking, and I think you're doing pretty well.
I also, if you, I don't know, played the first few weeks and then forgot about your team, you'd still have Keeney.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, 'cause,
great.
like if you followed us and said Keys a buy,
yeah, we did.
he's now
Katie.
600K.
incredible.
So
Look,
Barnett, Dor, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say, Cord, just on that topic, people ask, like, how do we provide such good advice? It comes with years of experience.
Knowledge.
Years of experience, years of...
Our knowledge goes
top player
past
things.
our years, I would say.
We can see the future.
Yeah.
We can predict an
We can
injury.
predict injuries. And we predicted turbos. We said this on the podcast.
That's it.
I remember Cordless predicting many injuries, and it wasn't a good look.
No, it wasn't a good look. But what are we on a good look though, boys? Richie Barnett. I think obviously the only issue is he's not playing next week. But look, I think he's a buy. I'd be buying him if I've got coverage next week. I'm buying him.
Dor, I'm looking at his scores here, and his last 5 scores, 55, 52, 64, 68, and a 75. 2 tries within that. But look, he's been stunning in the middle, and his work rate is nothing short of fantastic. So buy.
Yeah, Mick.
Yeah, I agree. That's all I can say, really.
Yep.
I
No.
have him as well. So.
We move on to a man that you've, I think, had most of the season. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mick. But
Also have McInnes, yeah.
Yeah, the
90 points. He's not going to play Origin, you'd assume. Just gets to his work.
well, New
His
South
minutes have
Wales aren't
been-
going to change it.
Well, exactly. And that's the same thing with Barnett. Like McInnes's minutes have been a bit low, I'd say, this year, especially when he's like captain. But if he's playing more than 55, he's going to be 1 point.
Yeah, well, like
per
you
minute.
said, Mick, like unlike Barnett, McInnes obviously plays. next weekend in the bye round against the Tigers. So that's really good. Break even of 39.
Yep.
His stats is phenomenal. Like 59 minutes he played on the weekend, 52 tackles, 7 tackle busts, 170 meters. He only missed 1 tackle. Also got a try assist in there. So he's just killing it.
He was unlucky to miss out in game 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So definite buy for me.
Mhm.
You boys on it.
Yeah.
Quick
Next
question
two
though.
edges.
Well, I was just going to say before you go, who would you buy? McInnes or Barnett if you had to
definitely
pick one?
Barnett.
I'd go Barnett, yeah.
It
It's the
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he's not
Doesn't
playing
play
next
the
week.
bye, which
Yeah,
is
that's-
frustrating. I'm going to
Does
change
that-
my opinion.
Yeah. Does it lean? Does it change?
Changing opinions underrated. I'm going to go, McInnes, just so he plays next week and then get
He's
Barnett
also a bit
after.
cheaper.
Yeah.
Bit cheaper. Yeah. Yep. No.
I was just going to say,
Yeah,
Joel,
you go.
between these two next edges, Nakora and Olakawatu.
Didn't we recommend Nakora last week as well, Mick? I'm
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
sure we did. Yeah.
I think both are great
Good plug there, Dor.
options. Obviously, Olakawatu's playing Origin, but he's pretty underpriced at the moment. And I don't think many top teams would have him, so he might be a decent
Yeah,
little pod.
he'd be a pod. I think his value sort of went down when he got that sin bin
Yeah.
earlier in the month of May, I think it was.
Just speaking on, obviously we're talking about the Sharks. Obviously got the Tigers next week, and they've got the Titans this week. Just a player like Britton Nikora just absolutely benefits so much from attacking upside, and I think he can go large again over the next couple of weeks. There, obviously 63 points last week, a break even of 24 this week. He's ripe for the picking, boys, and I'd definitely be getting in Nikora this week if I needed an edge.
Well, he's good. He's a good line runner, and he's always a threat when the Sharks are on the attack. So he could have had 2 on the weekend, which would have been very nice. He would have scored 80 plus. So we'll take whatever he got. What was it, 69 or so?
The Sharks are dross, I was just going to say, but I don't think it matters for players like Nakora.
No, I don't think it does.
Yeah, see, if you put him up against Olakawatu, break even of 62, pretty similar price. I'd be definitely leaning towards Nakora or Nikora. Definitely a bit more money to be made. Lower break even. Can probably wait for Olakawatu till after Origin.
Yeah.
Anyway, we move on to a man that has taken a bit of time this year, boys, to really start firing.
Greg the Leg?
Greg Marzoo. He was back to his old self on the weekend. And look, excellent news on the weekend. Pingu Pongu is back. And when Pingu Pongu plays with Greg Marzoo, things happen. Things happen with Ponga.
Ponga
Ponga back. Yeah, sorry, boys. That's just what I call
That was my
Ponga.
thoughts exactly. At 470K, did you say? He
Yeah,
was?
479K wing fullback. Obviously, a few coaches we'll touch on later, but Joey Manu going down on the weekend. And Xavier Coates, if you've got Xavier Coates.
Well,
for that matter.
he hasn't scored well this year, but that's without a lot of tries.
Yeah, I think that was his
he's
third
still
try.
been getting,
third or fourth try.
he's getting to work. He's getting through a lot of run meters and tackle breaks. He's just not scoring
42
those tries. And with
42
Ponga,
and 15, and then 65 on the weekend. Ponga
Yeah.
coming back, I think.
Look, if you
helps
compare
immensely.
Greg's price from this year to what it is this year compared to previous years, it's definitely a bargain. And he does work hard out from the back, and he
Real
gets
low
involved.
break
So
even.
he was getting unjustified hate from a few Newcastle fans about he's not scoring tries.
yeah,
It's that's about the people inside you. That's not
Yeah.
necessarily him. And with Ponga,
well,
he's going to be scoring.
We got to touch on Ponga
Yeah,
because
for
I think
sure,
it's one of the
100%.
biggest questions of this week because I can see Queensland picking him as well. If he's fit and ready to go, I can see Queensland getting him in the side.
We've had a floater at 17 before. Obviously now with Coates, to me, it's just seems like a no-brainer. If we want that floater,
Did we like a bit of talent in game 2?
Well-
Someone off the bench that was just going to open the game up.
well, I just think you can put Cobbo's obviously going to replace Coates. And then you can have Ponga in jersey 17 and bring him on and just play him for 40 minutes.
He's a Dally
or
M
30
winner.
minutes. Yeah, in the middle. He'd be unbelievable. And give Carrigan a bit of a spell because he should not be playing 70 minutes in an Origin game. But look, that's going a bit off topic. Look, Ponga's 73 break even, first game back. To me, just like Marzoo, obviously they play next week against Manly in the bye round. To me, I just think with Ponga, you've just got to wait this week because he could be named for Origin like we just touched on. With Marzoo, I think I'd definitely be getting him in this week if you needed a wing fullback, a replacement for Joey Manu. But Ponga, I'd wait. if he's not named for Maroons next week, I'd be getting him in next week. His break even will probably be a bit better as well, hopefully.
You can wait. A few of these people, I'd say you could probably wait until after the bye if they're not playing.
We just need to address them because we're getting a lot of questions in regards to some of these people that, we could probably wait a couple of weeks. So it's
probably
better.
Turbo's one, especially at centre.
Yeah, we'll touch on him.
He could drop a lot of cash and be like a decent
someone
downgrade
pick in,
option
later on.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to Stefano, boys. Stefano, obviously 39 points on the weekend, 53 break even. I don't think we really obviously plays next week against the Sharks. I don't really think we need to spend that much time on Stefano. Personally, I think that
He's
we've
got a try
already
last week as well. For like a 50.
I feel like we've already named two better mid options in McInnes and Barnett. So I think that I'd be rather going those guys over Stefano.
Yeah. It's hard to.
No, you go. Yeah,
it's very hard not to go off topic on this podcast.
That's why I'm just trying to keep it nice and.
Stefano wanting a mil.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Wanting to offer him a mil is simply delusional.
Red V.
There's no way you can pay a prop if they're not paying Haas $1 million a year.
I mean, if you remember 2 years ago, or was it 2 years ago, a year ago, when Payne Haas is coming out saying, "Hey, I need $1 million."
Yeah, I think the Broncos fans seem to forget that.
And everyone was like, "Hang on a minute."
That's Payne Haas, for example.
No, but like the point is, like, he comes
he's
out.
not worth $1 million anyway.
Yeah, he comes out and says, "Hang on, I need $1 million. I'm playing prop." But then someone like Stefano comes out, who's respectfully played one Origin game and done nothing with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he's overvaluing his value there. But look, fantasy-wise, I think it's a bit of a sleeper option, to be honest. I don't mind it.
Would you rather be underpaid or overrated? That's the question.
Very good question. That's the question of the week.
And would you rather go those Stefano over someone like McInnes or Barnett? Anyway, we move on to the next option. Jacob Little, absolutely stunning form of late.
My little Willie.
Yes, he is 68 points on the weekend, break even of 41. Look, he has been in scintillating form.
The amount of hate I've gotten for supporting Little as a Dragons fan, saying he's underrated. I like the Cook signing, but I don't think we needed to.
No, I don't think
Little's a really quality hooker.
Actually, I don't mind the Cook signing because he's only on like 450k. If Cook was given like 600, 700k to end his career at the Dragons and he was getting paid that much, I'd probably say not worth it. But I can see Little playing 13 as a lock role or like.
I agree.
Giving him a bit of a
14,
spell.
Yeah. If Little, I'm that confident in him. If he doesn't get, he gets over 50.
I got a few messages
guarantee.
this afternoon from a few of our mates saying is Little a buy, and I'll be inclined to say yes. He's been scoring really well, hasn't he, Dor?
He finds
68
the
points
try
on
line
the weekend.
easily as well.
68 points on the weekend. Average for the
704K.
season of 49.7. Look, last three
Cook
he's averaging.
is a better option though.
Yeah,
He
just
is
averaging under 60 the last three
Do
games.
the Drags have another buy?
They do have another bye, but they
unsure,
don't. They do play next week though.
Yeah,
they're obviously versing the Broncos next weekend.
Look, if I were you, I'd be getting in Cook. He doesn't play another bye. He plays next week. He's just a solid option. He's scoring well. I'd just probably bite
Little's
the
probably
extra,
the next option
bite
down
the
if
bullet.
you can't afford Cook.
Yeah, and then Reid Marnie's obviously been a gun this year, but he doesn't play next week.
Yeah,
and I'd probably still rather Cook over him.
Yep. Let's keep moving on, boys. Keep pushing on nice and quickly
Push the
here.
tempo.
Johnny Bateman, boys. Obviously, I think that another one here, just like earlier, is one to look at. Obviously, playing next weekend in the bye round against the Sharks. He got 42 points off the bench on the weekend. He's got a break even of 62. I think this is one to watch in a couple of weeks. Maybe next week he could be ripe for the picking. But I think you're definitely going. I think
It's
you're
just
going
about priorities, isn't it?
Yeah, Nakora, I think I'd be going over Bateman. So I think we've got to mention him, but I think that we'll be going with Nakora.
Yeah. With that being said, I think Bateman, like as a pod option, is a great idea.
Yeah, he'll definitely come good, and he's going to play big minutes. Unfortunately, Reuben Porter was the unlucky one, but it looks like Samuel Afinu and Bateman are going to gobble up the minutes there in the back row for the Tigers.
I mean, Bateman was pretty good for us before he got injured in the second row. So I'd probably wait the week just to see how he goes. You don't have to spend the trades. And a lot of these people that we talk about are luxury trades. So I know a lot of people only have like 2 to 4 trades, which is probably fair enough.
You've got 0.
Someone's got 0. But look, I know another one we're going to talk about here coming up is might be a big player as well. So
yeah, Keanu Keeney, boys. This is probably this is a big one here because obviously there's with Campbell
Very
returning next week, and then you've also got you've got Campbell, Brimson, the Brim's back this week. Look, he's obviously in just scintillating form, really. -8.
Negative 8 break even and being 624K is
criminal.
absurd.
It's nearly like Brian Toto this week on
I've never seen a
Supercoach.
player go from everyone like roasting their performance to being one of the best players in the comp, like form wise.
Well, you look at it,
so
like
quickly.
came back round 11, but or round 10, sorry, but like if you look at it from round 12, he's gone 80, then 36, and then he's gone 85, 85.
He's gotten 5 tackle breaks, then 6, then 8, then 6.
Like he's just gobbling, and like the Titans obviously play next week against Parramatta. Look, the only concern with Keeney is just obviously the return of Campbell, and do we see Brimson?
Is he a buy though?
No, I can't see him being a buy, to be honest.
Keeney?
Yeah,
If he's putting up 80s, I'm almost going to say he is.
Look, in my opinion, I'm being ruthless here. I think Brimson's going to. Brimson's going to go to center. I think that they can't drop Keeney the way he's playing. I think Keeney is a buy at 624K. The Titans have had all their buys. I'm going out on a limb here.
Doors keen on Keeney.
And saying that, Brimson goes to in the centers. Campbell stays at 5'8", and
buy,
Keeney is a buy. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I'd bite the biscuit.
You a bit concerned, Cord?
Expensive now.
Yeah, look, I'm a bit concerned. I mean, like that Titans lineup is so stacked, and they're about to get Carter Gordon. I'm not saying Carter Gordon's going to play, but it's just another option. It's just another option. And if I'm being honest, like, what's the Titans' best lineup? Is Kenny in it? He might be. I'm not sure, but
Yes,
Campbell was killing it.
The Titans are underrated.
I've been saying this on the podcast.
Thank God they got rid of Sexton.
I've been. Hey,
I need to watch my tongue.
I've been saying this for weeks that they've been building something on the Gold Coast, and they've got all the.
I think that
they've got all the right pieces.
Building something has been said at least
No.
12 times.
They've got all the right pieces on the Gold Coast. Dort, you should have stuck with them.
Jeez.
Wait.
Thanks, Dor.
Cordless, that's a bit too.
Oh, that's fine. Lukey boys. 524K. Look, I think
Just move on.
the buy schedule's
Nothing
bad.
I think he's a great player. Just
We've just had bad luck
Injury
with
prone.
him. Injury prone. Yeah.
burnt
Still got
us.
2 buys. No good.
If you want to take, the 2 buys is obviously, poor buy.
That's a simple
buy
one,
schedule.
boys.
Yeah,
I think the
that
next guy,
is,
a lot of people would have sold him.
Yes, Courtney and I mentioned
Cooler.
in the podcast for TLT about Cooler. Obviously, everyone sold him because when he returned from that AC injury, that he returned in the centres, and Lehigh Hopewade kept the fullback jersey. Break-even of 38 this week, obviously priced at 414K. Look, if I'm going to be quite frank with you, even though that I did have Cooler and I've sold him, and it does hurt to see him back at fullback, I'm just going to be, just going to say he's not a buy for me because I just don't know how long. I just don't know.
Yeah, is that because of like his job security as a fullback?
I just don't know how long that you can keep a player of Tommy Turbo's caliber.
Maybe you're right.
At centre.
I was more just thinking this is the
they're not
exact
getting
same
the
logic as before, obviously, but without Turbo being in the team, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But like his scores at fullback, we know are very impressive.
Very good. Yeah.
They're
So
very good.
At that price, if he's scoring, 50 plus,
And they
seems
got a
like
pretty good
no-brainer.
draw as well on the run home. So
Plays next week.
I'd be inclined.
Could be worth the risk.
I could be inclined to buy him again.
And if their logic is, we need to put Turbo at centre, what's their logic of just going after 1 week? Oh no, he's back at fullback.
Yeah.
As long as if he's, I know it's his first return game, but as long as if he's gonna lose that chance of getting injured in the next coming weeks.
Well, exactly. I said on the TLT podcast, like I'm no sports scientist or anything, but like surely there's could have been, but surely there's some sort of like there can't be a reduced amount of like injury that's like the risk there, right? Because like
I read somewhere in physio,
you're still playing the exact same minutes.
Yeah,
doing the exact
It's
same.
just like the workload, I think, is just a bit.
Yeah.
I think the high intent. Someone said that the high intensity workload is basically the same at centre.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just like
It probably
how many meters he's clocking throughout the game.
Kilometers, like total
fatigue.
meters run, total. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, on to the next one,
Another,
boys.
again, something to note.
He made his NRL debut on the weekend. His family flew over from England. Will Price got over for a meat pie as well. 45 points, break even of 20 this week. Has a dual eligibility in the halves and wing fullback. What are we thinking, boys?
Like him. Actually, his dad was in our comments one video.
Was he?
Yeah, I think he just tagged his friend.
Shout out. Look, I think I like the performance of Price on the weekend. I think he definitely showed something. He definitely showed more than Gamble. And who else did they have at 6 for a while?
Cogger.
Oh, Cogger, yeah.
I think the gamble on Tyson's over.
I think
Price just needs some media training though at the end of the game there. That was quite
he
done.
was very apologetic.
Yeah, he's just swearing the whole time.
Dropped a few bombs.
Play on.
Oh no, I loved it. There
should be NRL PG-13 channel.
There's
and then there should be an NRL MA15 plus channel where the commentators can just swear.
It's just lucky that no one understood what he's actually saying, Paul Price.
Let's backtrack there. I think that's a good take.
But Reed Marnie, I like this little take here. Reed Marnie's been going well.
No, I was gonna say just Will Price. I think complements the like Hastings a lot better than Cogger and Gamble do. Moving forward, but yes, Reed Marnie, boys. It's probably the last one of the upper echelon players, and then we move into a couple of cheapies, a bit questionable options. But yeah, 78 points last week. He did score, but he's just been outstanding, leading tackler in the competition this year.
Spoke about him before.
Break even at 42.
I think this is just a simple one where if you really want him, you probably just get him after the bye.
I want to pose a question to you, brother. What would you do with obviously Harry Grant's form of late, and then obviously him not playing this week? I know Reed Marnie doesn't play next week, but would you be willing to? Do you reckon that Reed Marnie is moving forward the better player to run with?
Over question. It's more the question like, are we selling Grant or not?
I think it's a bit sideways, if I'm being honest.
I think it really depends on your trade situation. If you've got less than 6, then what's the point? Because Grant's
I'm more talking about like after.
Yeah.
After Origins or.
Are you basically saying who's a better scorer?
Yeah. Who would you?
I'd stay with Grant.
I feel like Grant's been from memory. I feel like he's pretty good at the back end of the year.
Yeah.
Grant hasn't had the easiest of runs. He's been injured. Origin has hurt him. He's been rested. It's hard to keep the momentum up. And like the Storm don't have another bye. I'm pretty sure the Dogs have another one. I'm fairly confident they do.
Yeah.
So I'd be just run with the Cook and Grant combo if you got him.
Yeah. If you had like 12 trades left, I'd go Grant to Marnie. No problem.
All right, on to some cheaper options here. Obviously, with the injury to Sean Johnson, he's out for, I think, another 3 weeks. Harris Tavita has benefited immensely here with price at $291K, so very cheap. 51 points on the weekend, break even of 8. What are we thinking?
Yeah, it's a simple one. I think he's a pretty good option, like if you need a downgrade option especially.
Yeah.
I'd say this is the most obvious choice with the price.
Just with the 3 weeks, though, you're a bit worried about that with SJ potentially coming back.
But like, if are
you thinking of like it being a red
the wires
red
might
dot?
suck,
Yeah,
SJ.
I think it might just be one where you just accept the red dot. Something you're gonna have to eventually do it. If you're trying to get like a massive gun, maybe a Hines, which is a risky play, but you really want Hines, then you got to downgrade to someone really cheap like that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I think with the next player as well, Jake Targo, I think that obviously making his NRL debut and Sevo out for 4 to 6 weeks, but I just think for me, you just let him let him have one game, and then also you've got the likes of Harper and like other players that could be lurking around and take his spot. So I wouldn't worry about Jake Targo.
Before we go to the holds, I just commented on it. I know we all have him, I believe. Nico Hines?
Yes,
Yeah, got him.
I've still got him, yeah.
Is he someone, like he hasn't been playing well, to be honest, especially after Origin. Is he still someone you're looking to get like ASAP? I know he's got a 98 break even.
99, yeah.
In my opinion, I don't care. He's versus the Titans this weekend. I think he
Confident?
scores. I'm very confident. Cordless. I think
How
he
confident?
scores minimum 55 plus, and at that stage, it's like all he needs is one try, a couple of try assists, and he'll go to his usual 70.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Is there more at play here, Mick? Have you got something to put down for us?
What are you implying? Like,
I reckon you give us a challenge or
all right,
something.
if Nico Hines doesn't get over 55 points, what's a challenge I could do?
Well, you're going to Europe.
I'll run 50Ks.
50K.
50K.
That's too much. 50K. I'm trying to shred weight for Europe.
Okay, you could
I'll
do.
run like a half marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This Sunday.
Maybe that. I don't know.
This Sunday, half marathon. If Heinz doesn't get over 55.
This is really going to backfire, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's in your
It's in
court,
your
Nico,
court,
if
mate.
you're watching, mate. We
Yeah,
need
yeah, Nick-
55
Nick, I
plus
hope you're
boy.
listening.
Yes. All right, boys. We went through extensively there with the buys. Let's absolutely fly through these holds and sells. Pretty
Want me to go
straightforward.
straight through them, door?
No. Let me keep cooking. Let
I
me
was about
keep
to
cooking.
absolutely smash
Yeah,
these.
no. Jaden Campbell, obviously, he's back next week. Break even of 6. Definitely hold, boys. You guys are all holding if you had Jaden Campbell.
Oh, I'm an owner door and I'm holding.
Yep, perfect.
If you sell, then sell the game.
yes.
And delete the
Sell
other.
the app.
Yep. KO Weeks, boys, obviously moved back to fullback. Break even at 45. I was talking to Cord on the earlier podcast, I think, with the TLT, saying that he could be potentially a sell, cash him out after this week with Fogarty returning.
I mean, at fullback, he wasn't great until that
no
massive try.
No points from kick meters on the weekend.
Yeah, which
So,
is tough, but I think that's like another luxury.
yeah. So obviously JC plays next week. Weeks doesn't. Harry Grant, Mick. We obviously just touched on Harry Grant. Obviously, I think
simple one.
Yeah.
Depends how many trades you have.
break even of 60. I just think he's, you know, if you can hold him, hold him.
More than 6.
if
No,
you've
more
got
than
no-
more than 8.
If you've got no hooker, Mick, like you got no hooker, you got to have to get rid of him if you got
Yeah.
to trade. Like
Yeah.
if you got no hooker this week, you got no hands, you got no cook.
That's
I'd be
true. There's no one
moving.
really to go.
I'd
to.
moving cook. I'd moving Grant to cook if that's the case.
Is that worth? You know, if you have 4 trades left, is it worth it then?
Yeah, I think so because
Yeah.
the Rabbitohs
Okay.
don't have another buy.
All right. Next, Preston.
Hopewade.
Oh,
Hopewade. What are we
He's at
thinking on the
14,
bench?
isn't he?
Sell.
is he at 14?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All it
14.
takes is
The thing is, he
I
plays
don't
next
wanna
week.
say it, an injury, but
He plays next week. You could hold, but
We predict injuries and they're not gonna happen.
yeah.
So
yeah, I feel bad for saying we predict injuries, but just been too many times on the podcast where we say,
Someone's a buy.
"Oh,
and
I
then
hope
someone
blah blah
goes
blah
down.
doesn't get injured," and it happens.
Yeah, so Hopewade, do what you please. You can hold to get that extra number next week, or you
Yeah.
can get rid of him. Preston, obviously, look, I don't know what the go is
I don't know
here. He
what's
was named on the extended bench last week, and then break
Just
even.
Geraldo, what mail are you giving us, bruh?
Yeah, well, he's named on the bench, or extended bench last week, and then just hasn't been named at all. If you need a number in the second row, I'd be selling. But I've still got him in my team. I've got 0 trade, so I can't do anything with him anyway. But I'd hold if you
Yeah.
can.
Maybe they're confident against the Wars.
Yep.
And what
Another,
on the
Kraz, I
Wars.
was going to say, Dor.
Oh, yep.
He's another one on the doggies. I'd hold, simple one.
Yeah, and look, yeah, he's been great for us. Obviously, moved to fullback. Gordon and I touched on it. Was not good
Yeah.
there.
Fuller,
AFB.
Fuller Dor.
Oh, Fuller.
That's an
yes,
obvious one in my opinion.
my boy, Trey Fuller. Yes.
Time to go, blood.
No, keep him till after round
Well,
19.
yeah, at least until Hammers.
Yeah, after just next week.
Jeez, he can't stop He can't stop anything.
Poor
at
old. He
fullback
was trying.
defensively.
He was trying.
He tries hard though.
He was trying. He was really trying, but yeah, it
That's
wasn't to
coming
be.
from a Red V fan.
What are we thinking, Mick? I'm going to pose a question to you both here with Fanua Blake, boys. What are we thinking in regards to him?
I don't
are we
really own him.
thinking-
Maybe Core can take that one.
Look, as an owner, I'm holding just because of the fact I don't want to sell him and then he goes
Yeah,
off.
goes
and
off.
Again, it's gone back to this point. Like it's such a luxury trade at this point.
Yep.
And I've got an issue with my team at the moment that I've only got one round 19 mid. I think I got to start getting
problems.
I got to start getting some mids in now that Twil's not playing, for God's sake. So, look, I'm holding AFB. He'll come good. I mean, the Wires have been disrupted the whole time. They sort of got a full contingent back now. So, hopefully, he can turn his form around for the end of the year.
Yeah,
it should be fine.
no, I think he should be fine. If you wanted to sell him, like Mick said, you got a heap of trades. I'd be moving to Barnett or McInnes.
Yeah, he's
PS4 boys. Obviously, he's been great for us this year. I think you just hold him. Look, he plays next week. Break in at 51. He should go better this week. Definitely hold on to him.
Agreed.
Last one for the holds is Porter. Obviously, a lot of people brought him in a cheapie. Obviously, got 44 points last week starting in the back row, but then the return of Bateman has now seen him move to 18th man.
You're not generating much cash doing anything there.
I just think you hold and he plays. He might hopefully gets into the 17 next week to give you a score if you need it, and then if not, you can move him.
It's like a
next
Blaze Talagi type situation where you sell them and they're back next week.
Yeah. All right. Two of these guys are very similar for the holds, boys, is obviously Brendan Hands and Fletcher Sharp. Obviously, Hands is obviously in a better situation as he's still got the starting gig. Hopefully doesn't miss 8 tackles again this week
Eels
to ruin his
hookers,
score.
I tell you, next year,
Just
not going
avoid.
near him.
Yeah. So 21 points, breaking with 21 for this week for Hands. He's obviously still starting, playing good minutes. So yeah, I'd hold Hands.
Yeah, I'd definitely hold.
He plays next week, and so does Sharp. But it's just
I'd rather hold Hands than like
Than
a
Sharp.
Porter or a
Okay.
Sharp.
Yeah. Well, you just got to think as well, like Ponga. If Ponga's named for Origin, then Sharp is back at fullback. But if Ponga's not named, then Sharp is still 14.
These ones are just from injuries. Joey Manu, Sell.
That's the only
White's
one
not
from
injured.
No,
Yeah.
White's not injured, but he's look, the Roosters are
scoring
full
bad.
strength. He's not scoring
He's
that
getting
well.
20 minutes. Really
his
annoyed me.
minutes are-
D-Bags is a sell as well. I just saw him. He's in my team. He's gone.
Yeah, but the question is, would you sell him right now? Because
He
he
doesn't
plays.
play.
He plays next week against the Titans.
Changing opinions again. I will sell him after the bye.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Sees to sell after the bye. Look, the fish of the week, it's probably not the fish of the week anymore. It's probably the off fish of the week. Unfortunately, it's not salmon season anymore, Cord, and Tasmanian salmon has spiked in price up to around $40 a kilo, I think, and
Yeah.
it's time to depart from salmon.
Yeah, he's not a buy, that's for sure, Dor. I mean,
He's-
look,
He's not a buy, and
let-
he's
let's-
definitely not a hold.
Let's preface this situation. The fish of the week salmon has been nothing short of incredible this
Yeah,
year
he's
for
been
the
great.
all-out team.
I mean, I sold him before he scored like a double. So
He's been around for 2 bye rounds. He's given
He
us some
lingers.
tries. He's been
he's
lingering.
like that. He's like that fish that like.
He's a
This
pest.
is real niche. He's like that fish that like attaches to the shark host.
Yeah,
Someone, I'm sure, a listener.
That's
will know what I'm
lovely,
talking about.
the Remora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this is over 30 minutes, it's on me.
Yeah, no, that's fine. The last one, boys, is just basically Morgan Smithies. Sorry, blood.
can go.
The time's up, boys. With Smithy.
We were given false information about Smithies. I mean, he did do a job
Yeah.
for us, okay, but like, yeah.
Imagine that there's like a negative chance, but imagine like one of these players is like listening to our podcast. They wouldn't be, but they just hear us just go, "You can go, blood."
Yeah, but we're talking fantasy wise here.
Oh,
We're not
yeah,
talking.
we're not talking
you know,
about anything.
We're
anything
not
else.
talking about
Except when
what
it
they're
comes to
doing on.
Sexton.
Not what they're.
That's just because I'm just trying
what
to
they're
spite
talking on
Cordless
the.
and his love.
Mate,
on
with
the
all due
infield
respect,
play.
Sexton's comes into the side. They've won 5 out of 6 games. I'm just saying.
The fact that the Bulldogs are 5th and they're 8 and 7.
Sexton.
It's
That's
their
all I can say.
defense. It's just been incredible.
Defense.
And also, since Sexton comes in, I'll give him some flowers.
Yeah.
They've definitely turned some corners.
That's what I've been saying, boys.
Look,
Where's the receipts?
I think that's another stunning episode of Buy, Hold, Sell. We've obviously gone into a lot of options there, given a lot of clarity about, and been pretty ruthless with our options, Buy, Hold, Sell for each of these options. So, look, if you enjoyed it, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. As Cord said in the last one, we are really close to 1,000 subscribers. So, hit that button and get us there. It would
No
be
one's
much
wearing a
appreciated.
hat, which is a problem.
Do it.
Yes, no, we did plug it. But yeah, if you want to support us, make sure you buy a hat. You can buy it through the Instagram shop or the All Out website. We always appreciate the
coffee.
support. If you see us out and about, say hello. Look, that wraps us up there, boys. Thanks for your coverage and joining me this evening. And
Thanks, Dot.
we'll be back next week.
Never a chalk.
Never chill. See you later.